Hi there, this is Chris Kellett with museGrid.com, and we're going to take a look at the museGrid SEO Builder. This is in alpha at the moment. It's only a simple little tool, but it should help you with creating some useful meta tag data for your Muse sites. It's one of the many tools we're working on at the moment to help make your Muse working life easier. But first, let's take a look at SEO and metadata in Muse itself. So here we have a completely blank site, and we're going to right click and click on page properties. And we see our metadata button there. We have a description, keywords. This area here we can add additional HTML for the head, so we could add additional meta tags that may not be serviced here with these specific boxes. So that being said, let's go over to our tool. And running through from top to bottom, we have our keyword and description. Now, yes, there are two boxes within Muse metadata for keywords and descriptions. So you might not want to fill those in, leave those blank because you're using them in Muse. That's fine. But you could use this to kind of focus all of your SEO and tag building exercises all in one place. So we've put those in there. So keyword descriptions, what are we going to put in there? Well, obviously in your keywords, if you're not familiar with SEO and you're all new to this, then let's suggest that we put in here keywords that are specific to the page that you're working on or the website, but really specific to the page, because you want each page to be unique in its content, unique in its description, and you want your keywords to be specific. So if you are selling soap, for example, you would have keywords to do with soap in here. Your description would be about soap. But if this page was a page that was dealing with customer service to do with the sales of soap, then your description would be about the fact that this page was to do with customer service. So you need to keep those unique because Google and other search engines really don't like to see description tags that are exactly the same for every page. In their robot area here, we have these quite interesting list of index, no follow index. What does this mean? Well, the index part of it is this going to be searched by a Google bot, by a Google search engine, and then the page be indexed to keep in their search engine results? And are the page links going to be followed by that? So for example, here we have no index, no follow. That will mean that the page will not be indexed by the search engine, and also any links on that page will not be followed by the Google search box, so it won't use those links to go onto the next page. Index, no follow will of course be, it will index the page, but it won't follow the links. No index and follow will be, it's not going to index the page, but it will follow the hyperlinks and go onto the next page. And then index and follow, where both will happen. It will be indexed and it will move through to the next pages via the links that are already on that page. And that's generally the default for any web page. If it doesn't have this specific content, index follow will be set to default. So we'll set that to index no follow. Language, which language is being used on the site. This is quite useful if you're expecting visitors from other sites, especially if they're using Chrome browser and you want them to pick up on translation services. If you set your language, then when Chrome looks at, and other tools as well, look at that site and see the language, they'll ask whether you want the site to be translated. The Dublin core title tag may be something that you're unfamiliar with, but if you do a bit more research on Dublin core, you'll see that this can be quite a useful tag for describing what the page content is. So you could either replicate your page title here, or you could be a bit more specific and say this page is regarding customer service to do with our brand of soap, and so forth. Author, company name, or if you're an individual, your own name, and generates more content about you as a user. Then in our Geo Tag section, this is really helping to locate content to where you are. So if somebody's doing a search for something in a particular area, then Geo Tags will help search engines locate your content, and that's how Google and other services are really helping people find searches within their area by using tools such as Geo Tagging. This tool's very easy to use. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Put our address in, hit search. It'll show on the map. We can drag the map icon to be more accurate, and then it will generate our longitude and latitude and our other bits of data. And then when we're ready to generate the code, we just hit generate code and it'll generate our tags for us that we can copy and paste. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to put in here some data that I've already created. So in the keywords here, I'm going to place, this is some content to do with museGrid, obviously. And then in the description, I'm going to put this description here. Now, when we come to the description, people may be wondering how long my description should be, and a rough guide is about 155 characters. And one of the reasons why you want to keep it nice and neat, like this one here, is because, for example, Google will use the description often in its search engine results pages, or SERPs, and you can have a preview of what this will look like with a really good little tool. I'll give you the link on screen here, and this is called a SERP preview tool. So we know when we run a Google search, we get the title of the page, the link, and a description of what the page is about. So let's try and do that with what we're producing here. So I've got the title here, so I'm going to paste that in. I've got our description, paste that in, and you can see here that our page title, Adobe Muse templates, Muse themes, Muse tutorials, and then our description fit nicely in that SERPs. Now if I started writing a bit more text, this is a page about Adobe Muse. Can you see there, once I get to that character limit, it disappears. So what you want to do is you want to load your description with the most important part, what that page is about, right at the beginning here. And you don't want to think, right, I'll just write a nice detailed description, which you may think may help the search engines, but in actual fact, this is the important bit. Because you see our title here, Adobe. If you're looking for Adobe Muse templates, then Adobe Muse templates, the hub for all things Adobe Muse, tutorials, small business templates, widgets. That's what the people searching are going to read, and so that is all loaded to the front of the what's called a SERP, the search engine's result page. So we've put our description in here, we've put our keywords. Now I'm going to use the title here, put that in there. Author, we're going to put in museGrid.com. We've selected our language as United States. Now let's look at the address. I'm going to use our office address here. So I'm going to copy and paste that in and hit search. And there we go. We've got our search details and it's pulled up the longitude and latitude. Now if we now zoom in a bit, if we want to be even more accurate, and accuracy is very useful for, especially when people are in a city and they're looking at a street level kind of location. Let's switch to, so let's just move that over the top of the building here, and you'll see that everything adjusts, and we've now got a very accurate longitude and latitude. And we're going to type in here St. Charles, and the country we're going to use United States, and then hit generate code. So now in our form here, we can see that all of that data has been created for us and put into the correct meta tags, ready for us to copy and paste. So we could just copy, go into Muse click on page properties here, go into our metadata, and just copy and paste it into the page. Now, as we said, there's description and keywords already in here. So what we could do instead, if you want to use those boxes, is just grab that out of there and just paste it in separately. But what it has allowed us to do is to focus on our search engine and metadata all at once, so that we've really got a clear head on what we're doing. We're focusing on one task to get this our project done and dusted for our client. And when we publish that now, let's have a look. Let's preview this page in the browser. So we're not seeing any data there at the moment, but if we view the page source, we can see our description, our keywords, and then our other additional metadata in the page. And that really should make it more straightforward for you to create that data with the correct tags very quickly. So I hope you found this useful. There's some useful tools there. There's some more information that we're placing on the page here. There's some links at the end of this tutorial for you to take a look at that SERPs tool, and also some more articles about SEO and meta descriptions and tags that you may want to follow up on, so that you can really get your head around it and use it. So I hope that's been useful. Thank you for watching.